Dear Mom and Dad, I'm finally taking the time to write about our trip with Scott and Miriam to Taroko Gorge. We took a bus from Taipei to Keelung, the second largest port in Taiwan. From here we traveled to Su'a, a little town on the eastern coast. There, we had to change buses. This is the point where you get convoyed down the Eastern Highway. We went on a city bus with all the local folks. I like to travel that way for two reasons. One, I'm sure you guessed that it's cheap. Two, you meet the local people and we have a lot of fun talking with them. The bus was a normal highway bus with good, big, padded seats. The morning we left, it was raining. We had front seats, and I was able to take a lot of pictures. Since it was raining, the view was not all that beautiful, but it was okay. We changed buses in Su'a. There were only 7 people on the new bus. The driver, the girl to collect money, 1 other passenger, and the 4 of us. Unfortunately, this bus was just an old city bus. The driver drove like a city bus driver, and the bus rattled and shook us to death.
自己人呀，做自己，回忆中多少风和雨，走过坎坷来时路，全凭虔诚和毅力。
自己人呀，唱自己，佛陀共在心坎里，大家一起来行善。慈悲天地最美丽，
去哪里？ 自己，人呀爱自己。一身沐浴在阳光里，到处是和风送温暖，欢迎你来做自己。
Oh, a train's coming, so we're all pulling forward.
Oh my gosh, here's a gal I know we're quite friends with. German gal. Too funny to see somebody here.
At one little town, we thought we had a 45-minute layover, so we got out and started walking through the town. It turned out to be only a 4 or 5 minute wait. Scott and I just happened to pass the bus after a short walk down a dead-end street, and the bus driver honked at us. We got on the bus, then drove down the street looking for the girls, who of course had gone shopping.
He wanted perfecting an ornament. There are ants all over the place. Show us what it is.
Oh, he shot it.
We stopped again a little later for an hour and a half to allow the traffic coming in the other direction to pass. Then about 100 school kids got on, and we started off again.
Hi, ni hao.
Jan and I had a ball talking to the kids. They all looked through my camera and saw each other. They thought that was great. They only went a short distance and got off at the next town.
are in some little podunk town waiting for an hour and a half so we'd be convoyed down to Hualien. And they tell us there's an explosion going to happen here at 3 o'clock, which is right now.
The drive was an exciting one. We were on wet and often muddy roads on the side of a mountain with the ocean a few thousand feet below. Guardrails are non-existent, and there are no trees or brush on the side that would stop you from going off the edge. It's a lot like Highway 1 down the California coast, only the road is a lot narrower and curved a lot more. The view was spectacular and breathtaking.
Boy, can you hear Julie? You'd never forgive me for this. Turn the sun and take a picture of the fishermen. Good morning. Here we are in the Astra Hotel in Hualien. This is the view out of our bedroom, of our room window.
When we got to Hualien, the hotel told us the road to the gorge was closed. They said it would not be open for several days. We were disappointed, but then what can we do? We met some people that Jan knew from Taipei and had dinner with them. They had driven the same road we bussed down. They were going on to the tropical south end of the island.
Get away. Hello, little guy. Oh, courting up a storm there, huh?
The next morning we took a cab and went to see a few temples in the area. We asked the driver how much. We got the price and took off. I had read that they use a flat charge system here, but I just wanted to hear them say the price each time.
I think this is the temple of the... What is it, Scott? The temple of what?
The temple of motherly love, holy temple of motherly love. It's the hall of motherly love.
Okay, fine.
Amen? Welcome.
They must have had some event
two
here. They have all
temples.
these lanterns hanging.
As we got out of the cab at the first temple, the driver mentioned that we could leave our stuff in the cab. I figured he wanted to stay with us as we toured the city instead of driving around looking for other fares. So we left our stuff in the cab and went into the temple.
You should have done that. You're worse than your kids.
说一声再见，送走了一个40年。
Jan, when she gets up in the morning.
说一声再见，自己人记心很有心酸。是谁在呼唤，迎接那第二个40年？是谁在呼唤，自己人勇往一直向前？
Quite a complex.
为佛教，为众生，把爱走过40年，虔诚如一天，永无悔，永无怨，把爱走过40年，日月辉映着爱的笑颜。 我们要习惯拥有了第二个40年。我们要习惯自己人手相心心相连。我们要幸福，自己人勇敢地挑重担。我们要幸福，自己人宏大志的心愿。为佛教，为众生，把爱走过40年，虔诚。
This damn thing, Jack.
Rewound? Whereabouts?
What number? I just looked at it so I could remember. 15, I think.
日月辉映着爱的笑颜，为佛教，为众生，把爱走过40年，虔诚如一天，永无悔，永无怨，把爱走过40年，日月辉映着爱的笑颜，为佛教，为众生，把爱走过40年，虔诚如一天，永无悔，永无怨，把爱走过40年，日月辉映着爱的笑颜，日月辉映着爱的笑颜。
Jan,
prayers or something, aren't they, Jeff? The things they burn?
Yeah. But that's me in the morning when I'm waiting on you, honey.
Yeah. Come on! Come on, I'm so tired of waiting for you.
Quiet in, quiet in.
Kathy quiet's hurry and mom like busy is slow.
Hello. 你好. Ni hao. Beautiful and gold.
When we finished looking at this temple, the driver told us there was another one next door.
No, I think we got to go up on the top floor. There's a whole another set of shrines.
So he wants us to go up in it.
Yeah, let's go. Follow Scott. There's the name of donors.
Yeah, I think these are neat.
See this guy a lot, see man very bad. See him a lot. Puts one of those in the doors. See this guy.
Yeah, we should go on the doors. Stand this side.
Yeah, the guy in the door.
It's going to be hard with the light.
We left the temples and went to a store that Marion had noticed on her way to the temple. We got back to the store, and I figured that the driver would charge us for each stop. That was okay. 3 stops, 70 NT, that's 210 NT. While the girls were shopping, Scott and I sat in the cab. I asked the driver in my good Chinese how much money altogether. He said 500 NT. I said no, and the argument began. He pulled out a rate sheet that had 300 NT per hour on it and showed it to me. In my best Chinese, I told him he was a rat fink, and Scott and I got out of the cab. I sent him on his way. Unfortunately, he left with my 500 NT. We then caught another cab and went out to a marble factory. We asked the cabbie how much and got 70 NT, the basic charge.
The view of the city, and it's raining on us. You can't see the beautiful mountains. I'll say. Here we are at the Retired Service Men's Marble Factory. People have built the east-west road were old servicemen that didn't have a job after they first came to Taiwan. And after the road was completed, they came here and started a marble factory. Here comes the delivery of marble now. Let's get out of the rain, huh? I don't know if I just took that last little bit. Marble walkway to the marble crafts. Good looking woman. Oh shoot, this is really interesting working. Well, see, that's what they're doing right here. They're polishing it. They got it set up in these lathes, and they spin it, and they polish it. Oh, it's too bad it's Saturday.
Yeah, so I missed the morning.
I didn't even think about that.
So they just keep running it by, and pretty soon it has a shine. You'd think
They
that
spin it. Yeah, they spin it, just like you had.
Well, this has
It's
been
a lady.
spun, but now they've got to get it shiny. And how do they do that? They must wash it.
Same tools. They polish it.
I can't believe you could.
Yeah,
But then
look
they
at
have to
those over
polish
there.
it.
Let's
Yeah.
buy one of those and take home.
What are we gonna do with it?
But it's so cheap. Isn't that what you always tell me?
It's cheap. It's good if you like it. I don't buy things I don't like.
Well, I like it. They're beautiful. Oh, I wish the factory is working. It breaks my heart.
Oh, it's too bad we missed out.
I can still see a lot, though.
Yeah, you can.
Boy, would it be interesting to see that stuff spinning and guys blasting it.
Yeah, it really would have.
Yeah, typical Chinese noontime. Everybody goes to sleep.
I'd like to see him cut this up.
we got back to our hotel, we had the driver wait, picked up our luggage, and went to the bus station. At the station, we asked how much we owed the cab driver. The driver asked for $4.50. Not so, on your life, I told her, in good English, of course. $3.70, $4.50, she said, and added a lot of Chinese with it. I gave her a whole bunch of English and $3.70. Several other cab drivers gathered around, but none could speak English. In general, the Chinese are very helpful and polite, so I did not feel threatened by all the cab drivers around us. Well, not too threatened. Finally, one of the drivers that she had been complaining to came over and said, $400. I felt okay, maybe there's some charge here that I didn't know about, so I paid the $400. After this ruckus, we went to the ticket window to see if the road condition had changed. The road was still closed to the gorge. So now what do we do? As we talked, a person came up and announced that the road had just been opened. We bought tickets and left. The gorge was beautiful, as I knew it would be. I ran out of power for my camera just as we started up the gorge. I did not despair because I knew we could walk down the gorge tomorrow. We arrived and checked into our hotel and decided to go look for the pagoda and the Buddhist temple that were spectacularly built on the side of the mountain in full view of the town. We looked around the temple, and just as we were ready to leave, it appeared as if they were getting ready to do something. So we stayed a little longer and watched. They were getting ready to do their evening chanting. We stayed and watched and listened for almost an hour. The ceremony was very interesting and exotic. Certainly something I will not soon forget. We then left and went to dinner. We had the whole town to ourselves. Everything was closed at dark, so we sat in the lobby lounge and had the hotel people put on a Rambo-type movie and watched it and played poker. Miriam loves to play poker.
Chickens I could hear them all night.
The next morning we got up and caught a bus down the gorge to a point where Scott wanted to get off and walk around. It was very overcast, so we did not get to see the bright sun shining down on the narrow canyon walls as we had on our first trip here, but it was nevertheless beautiful. We walked up the canyon and looked at all the beautiful sights.
Here we are at Indian Face. M Taroko Gorge. How could you miss it? Go on, go up there and stand by the edge. Come on, girls.
I'm not getting...
Hey, Scott, there's a car behind you. Water slide. My kids would love to go down that.
付出40年，感恩感恩，竹筒岁月，四季一往直前。
青山绿水，众星称赞，四季世界，奉献40年，上人上人，悲智双运。做事所言，我们热爱自己大家庭，同是同道同志远。4大志愿遍及全球，大爱之光照人间。我们热爱自己大家庭。是同道同志远，把大交易融合世界，把爱之光照人间。情陪伴，近似今生，付出40年，感恩。
Workers could slide off there so easily. You're an automatic focus instead of...
I don't know why they want to do that. Well, they don't have wires on them or anything.
How much you like this job down here on the mountain? Maybe we can get these guys to take the 4 of us here.
Oh my gosh. Isn't that beautiful?
Oh, this is beautiful.
I bring you to the best places.
This is something really. Scott, that is.
Yeah, it's easy to OD on this stuff. How much water is just pouring out of that rock. Amazing.
The video. You can see that crystallized rock down there? Near the bottom, I think that's neat.
Yeah. That beautiful rock right there.
Taroko Gorge.
So cool.
天白云，阴晴陪伴，近似今生。付出40年，感恩感恩，竹筒岁月，四季一往直前。
青山绿水，众星称赞，四季世间。奉献40年，上人上人，悲智双运，弟子做事所言。我们热爱自己大家庭，同是同道同志远。四大志业遍及全球，爱之光照人间。我们热爱自己大家庭，同是同道同志远。八大教义融合世界，把爱之光照人间。天白云，阴晴陪伴，近似今生。付出40年，感恩感恩，竹筒岁月，四季一往直前。青山绿水，众星称赞，四季世界。奉献40年，上人上人，悲智双运，弟子做事所言。我们热爱自己大家庭，同是同道同志远。四大志业遍及全球，把爱之光照人间。 世界，大爱之光照人间。我们热爱自己大家庭，同时同道同志远。四大志业遍及全球，大爱之光照人间。我们热爱自己大家庭，同时同道同志远。八大教义融合世界，大爱之光照人间。八大教义融合世界，大爱之光照人间。
Scott kept telling us that Miriam could not walk too far, but she did great. We walked for hours, but it was all worth it. Finally, we waved down a bus and went back to the hotel.
We are back in Tim Sing, trying to find a place to eat. And then we're going to go up, see the temple and the pagoda. We went up last night. It was just gorgeous. 3 beautiful Buddha, golden Buddha statues. Is the church? Guess we won't eat there then. A butterfly. Holding a pagoda in his hand. Look at that little pagoda. Whoa, the jerkiness is the dadgum drawbridge jumping up and down. We're going up to the temple, the temple, the temple, going up to the temple. Okay, I do. Okay, shay shay. Relaxing all out. That disappears in the pagoda. This is inside the pagoda. And here's the rest of the town of Chensheng. Here's a little rock. Jan and I hid behind it last night when we were up here and jumped out to scare Scott and Miriam, only to find out it was a Chinese couple. We embarrassed. They were really cute about it though. Watch out for those rocks, people. Hide behind them.
Why'd you get up there?
there? I thought you were over at the temple.
And inside it doesn't come out, it's got a hole. It's a pit.
Out here you got a lot of contrast.
Anyway, this all is new. The monks are women.
Mm-hmm.
They are with, yes, they are with the lipstick. But you, I'm going back because the wind is too much for me. See you sometime in heaven.
Heaven. What makes you think I'll make it there?
Well, I'll visit you in the middle.
There's the stores, the steps and the stores. And there's the Buddha. There's the pagoda. Now we're over here to the temple. We're going in this main building right here. 3 beautiful Buddhas inside. Golden Buddhas. Temple built in marble.
I think we're gonna walk out and hear some chanting.
After the temple ceremony, we picked up our stuff, which we had left at the hotel lobby, and caught a bus to Hualien. At the bus station, we were met by a number of cab drivers. We asked how much to go to the train station, and they said 100 NT. I knew it should be 70, so I argued with them. They all laughed at us, trying to make us feel cheap, and then said, or indicated, that old Charlie would take us. Charlie came up and I asked him how much. He said 70 NT, and we said okay. He went and got his beat-up cab. Meanwhile, the other entire group of drivers made fun and laughed at us. As we got in the cab, I gave Charlie a 100 NT note and told him to keep the change. The other drivers all stopped laughing. The train was a nice train and crowded. It was too dark to see the sights on the way back, but the trip was only a couple of hours. In Taipei, we finally found the correct platform to catch another train to the train station near our house. The train was just leaving when we arrived, and we climbed in and sat down. The man next to Jan said something to us in Chinese, and we talked to him using our 200-word vocabulary. Mostly we said we didn't understand. He was very helpful and slowly started speaking English. He had a real British accent. He claimed that he had learned to speak English listening to BBC. He said that it is difficult for foreigners to learn Chinese because all of the Chinese want to practice their English. He wanted to give us a chance to work on our Chinese, so he did not tell us right away that he could speak English. We had an interesting conversation with him, and we reached our stop far too soon. These chance meetings are a large part of what makes so many of these trips so interesting.